Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk a bit about this Fortress of the Crescent model. This is a paid model by Kijai. It's available on Cults, and I have linked to the STL in the description below. I've also linked to my blog where you can find more still photos and more write-ups about the 3D models that I've painted and embellished, as well as a link to another video I made about the materials that I use. So, on to the painting. This model I didn't really do a lot to be honest. It's got a lot of really wonderful textures. It's in such a cool and unusual shape. Um, I just couldn't think of a way to embellish it that wouldn't distract from what a great model it is. One thing I will say is that this model was not really made to be scaled down. So when I did scale it down, because I tend to make things very small, because I like small, plus I just don't have a lot of room to store these models. I've got like more than 30 now that I just keep painting more and I'm running out of space. So yeah. Um, Probably the first thing I want to say is that when I did scale it down, because I just really wanted to, these bridges here, the arches of the bridges printed perfectly, but kind of the middle of the bridges was very holy. So I had to patch those. So I'm just going to talk very briefly about how I did that. And you can see they look absolutely flawless now. But what I did was I took some PVA, that's just white school glue, put it on the back of my hand, as we all have done as children, or perhaps even bored adults, and I let it dry there. I peeled it off and I had a skin of glue, which is a really great patch maker for 3D prints. So what you do is you take that skin of glue that you've peeled off yourself and you can cut it to shape to patch over any holes, and you just glue it on with wet PVA and it just conforms to what it's supposed to, and it makes a really great, basically plastic patch, and you can't see the difference. There's also a patch up in here. There's a patch there too, you can't see it. So yeah, those holes only appeared because I scaled the model down much more than it was ever intended to be scaled down. So that's what I had to do before I went to paint. The model did print supportless, so there's no other bits to clip off. So yeah, painting. I primed the whole thing with a layer of acrylic paint, which I allowed to dry overnight. I brushed it all on there, let it dry overnight, went on to my painting the next day, and I basically just painted all of the stone bits metallic blue, and I painted the castle silver because I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do about it, but I knew I really wanted it to shine. Now, after the blue went on, I think I got into a discussion about creating kind of oil slick illusions with paint and how, it's really difficult to do that. And I thought, well, you know what? I've got this blue model. Why don't I give it a shot? So my goal was to create kind of an oil slick illusion. And I did that by dry brushing. There weren't really any shadows to apply, so usually I'll add washes before dry brushing, but I didn't need to. On the stony bits anyway. So I went straight into dry brushing, and on top of the blue, I added several layers of metallic purple, silver, and green to kind of attempt to create that oil slick illusion, and it's definitely showing up much better on camera than it ever did in photographs, but you can kind of see what I did there. Wish I had a couple other colors to add to that, but it was just layers upon layers upon layers of dry brushing. And once that was where I wanted it, I did go in with a wash, and it was, I think, a very, very watered down black wash to bring out these grooves in the back. And that was pretty much it for the stone. It came out really cool. I was very excited until I realized how badly it photographed, and then I was incredibly disappointed. So then it was just time to focus on the castle, and the model is hollow, so I didn't have to like paint in these doors. They're black because they're hollow, and I can light that up, but I haven't done that as of yet. And I did add a black wash to bring out all these, there's tiny bricks all in here. It's really a great model for texture. I mean, if you want to paint it, most of the work has already been done for you. It's a really, really fantastic, beautiful model. And yeah, I put in the black wash to kind of bring those bricks back a bit, and then I applied more silver on top to highlight them, and I think there's just a tiny bit, tiny bit of metallic green on top of that because it just looked a bit flat with all silver, so I just wanted to add another color to kind of catch your eye as the whole thing's just a rainbow, really. And yeah, that's pretty much it. On the stairs, there are some stairs here. I treated them as I would any other stairs, except usually my other stairs are gray and black. So here it was just dark blue. There was a bit of a black wash in there, and then it was highlighted with silver. Just highlight those little ridges, and it creates a really simple but effective staircase, and I did that here as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the painting on this one. Um, any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks. Bye.